So today we'll be looking at the repair we are doing on this one. But meanwhile, let's go start with this. This one is not necessarily repair. I want to wash the headlights. Um, you can see I've actually removed it, but the fog lamps, they are basically dead. I was looking at removing it to wash it, but I'm thinking that it doesn't even make sense anymore. I may have to leave it till I can get another one. My budget now doesn't include replacing the fog lamps. Even though the man is saying that I can be able to wash it to look better, but then basically dead. Anyway, so I removed the headlights. I'm going to send it so that we do that chemical work that we normally do. Okay, so now to the main purpose of this video. So this is a 407 V6 automatic, and so the owner has been having oil warning light issue ever since he bought this car, and eventually so he decided he kept managing it like that. I haven't done repairs on this video on this car before. Hold on. So well, hold on for me at the front. So I've done video on this car before when I did some overhaul repairs. So but at that time it was still showing that oil pressure wasn't right. It's okay, fine. Most likely there was a problem because the owner bought it Nigerian use. So but I noticed the engine doesn't really have that much power. But notwithstanding, at that time there was no oil leak. Recently the oil started vomiting from the timing chamber. So bought the vehicle and said, okay, now let's look at see whether we can change the valve, the camshaft seals. And it was also leaking from these camshaft boxes, the four of them. So in the process of removing this intake back one sprocket, the VTC sprocket, it broke. They actually have worked on it before. So let me show you guys the camshaft. So this is it. So this is the part that broke because the bolts have worn. So the people that worked on this engine before. So eventually I had to now change the camshaft. Got a used one and mounted it, and we were able to remove the remaining three successfully, even though the person that did that work on this engine before the guy purchased the vehicle did a mess. They changed it. These are not the OEM sales, but they went and put gums around it, all this RTVC come gasket maker, and they all started leaking oil, and they put the wrong size. It's supposed to be 38 50 8, but they put 36. Anyway, so eventually by the time we got to the bank 2 camshaft, exhaust camshaft, we now found that it had shredded here. Look at here. Let me point out. This place has shredded. In fact, it's even very dangerous. As I'm doing my finger here, it's even about to tear my skin. So let me show you guys this is the camshaft. You can see here. You can see the sign of wear. I don't know what caused it. It also affected the box as well. You can see it here. So definitely, obviously, it has damaged this bank 2 cylinder head. So which made this was what has been causing the oil pressure light ever since the guy bought this car. Either last year or this year. I can't remember. I know we did this work early this year. Remember when we did this? Remember when we did this? I think it was earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken. So the offshore, in fact, when we now probe further, we now saw that they didn't have changed the head gasket. They removed the cylinder and changed the head gasket, and they put those low quality pepper head gasket. I can even see the gap between the engine, the cylinder head and the block much wider than it's supposed to be. Well, it couldn't be the reason why when we are putting the timing, it was very difficult. It took us about 2 days to set the timing properly. Because the first time we did the work on this vehicle, because we changed the timing belt as preventive maintenance. So as it is now, we don't know. And even as we did all that, after a while the timing shifted, because by the time we removed it this second time, found out the timing was not properly set. Even though the tensioner was okay, it was still showing the normal mark, you know. And so which means that the pepper head gasket put there was probably, it has started to thin out, so it now affected the head the timing shifted a little. Now you understand why I always advise people don't use all those low quality or thicker. If they say use a particular millimeter, whatever the thickness recommended, use it. If you use the one that is much thicker, over time it will start, as it's burning, it will start thinning out, and then your timing will shift, you know. So this one is supposed to have those normal iron head gaskets. So that is now up to the owner. Is on his way, so that when you come to look at the tire situation, the advice, for example, if you can afford it, you replace the engine, or then you change the cylinder head, this particular bank too, change the head gasket, you know, and then hope for the best. You know, that's one thing about buying Nigeria used vehicles. Most times they are usually just packaged this thing. When we got this car was very new, clean, and the rest. When he got it, I was not the one that purchased it for him. But even if I was, I mean, I wouldn't discourage you from buying the car, considering how neat the car was. But that oil pressure light would have been a sign, something I'll point out to the owner, that you might end up doing a major repair on the engine because of that warning light. Since you cannot tell at that point or during the inspection what is causing it, it could be minor, something like oil pressure sensor, oil filter, or bad oil. But you never know until you start to do the tear and start to rule out the causes till you get to the last one, which could be the oil pump or anything. So in this case, this was the cause of the oil pressure warning. So of course, you can still put it back, but then if I were the owner, I wouldn't be comfortable driving this car, knowing that this thing is shredding. I may get a point, the engine might even break. I mean, if you travel with this car, it may even break or knock on the road into the journey. Luckily, he hasn't done a long journey with the vehicle. So we'll see what happens, and we'll update you guys. Okay.